everybody. I'm Hillary Atkin from the Atkin Report. I'm so excited to welcome Kiernan Shipka from the new series Swimming with Sharks to this edition of Hillary's Happy Hour. Kiernan, congratulations on the series, which premiered at South by Southwest.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Tell us about your character, Lou, who gets an internship at Fountain Pictures and idolizes the CEO, who is played by Diane Kruger, literally fiercely protected, though, by her two assistants.
What you think means nothing.
What you feel means nothing.
You are nothing. You're an intern.
First day?
Is that obvious? I'm gonna need you to... Sorry. You're here in service of Joyce Holt, CEO of Fountain Pictures.
What color were these resold?
Black.
The original color was
Red.
Therefore, they should have been resold.
Red. Get in here.
It's true. Lou is a seemingly innocent intern who works her way up the ladder quite quickly, doing whatever she has to do to get there, and has quite an obsession and an infatuation with Joyce Holt, her boss, and it quickly takes many turns and twists, and before you know it, you are on a full Lou and Joyce roller coaster with unexpected moments happening pretty much every scene.
Creator Kathleen Robertson, who also co-stars with you, based this loosely on the 1994 George Wang film starring Kevin Spacey as the evil, horrible boss. At the time, people likened him to Joel Silver or Scott Rudin. Maybe now we can say Harvey Weinstein. But did you watch the film, which has become such a cult classic, to prepare for your role?
Yeah, I'd seen the film, and I really think that the funny thing is that I didn't want to... the film is so different from our show. It felt like our show is kind of paying homage to the film. It's less of a reboot and more of sort of an homage to the structure of that movie and sort of flipping it on its head and doing its own thing. Obviously, there's no Lou in the original Swimming with Sharks, so to draw kind of inspiration from other performances is great, and I do that with kind of everything that I watch, but I wanted to make sure Lou felt like an original, and I wanted to make sure that I could focus on her and her alone, so the process of kind of creating that character did end up being quite insular.
The script has been flipped, of course, with two women as the protagonist. So tell us about your relationship on and off screen with Diane Kruger.
Yeah, Diane's amazing and wonderful, and we'd never worked together and we'd never met before, even though it felt like we had mutual people in common, and I'd been a fan of hers for a long time, and it was just, she's such a pro, and she's so stoic and wonderful and such an ice queen in this role, but also so terrifying, and she plays everything so naturally and so honestly that it really affects you. And I think Lou, my character, is very affected by Joyce. So it was very helpful that the person I was working across from was extremely good at what she did.
Kiernan, you are a child of showbiz yourself, having starred as Sally Draper in Mad Men. How do you feel about the corporate machinations depicted in this series? Can you relate at all to that?
No, luckily. I didn't feel like I related to much of it, which was a consistent reminder as to how lucky I've had it in this world and in this industry, because that side of Hollywood does exist. It's not all great and it's not all easy, but I think obviously I'm an actress and Lou is an intern, so there's just experientially it's we have very different paths and lives and trajectories and whatnot, so it really did feel like unfamiliar territories in many ways that I was exploring.
Kiernan, I want to wrap up our happy hour with a toast to you and your success with Swimming with Sharks, premiering April 15th
yes.
on the Roku Channel.
I'll cheers you with my ginger tea.
In Hollywood, there There are stories of love.
Not cheating.
All of this is mine, and I choose to share it with you. Success,
You thought you could spend as much of my money as you wanted, but you thought wrong.
where we live happily ever after. This, I see you, is not one of those stories.